Now, it was within the artifacts chamber where Ankenep, the Overlord, was slain. So over in this little warrior chamber is where Kotek's consciousness was biotransferred to. And what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to roll and see if any bodies are there to support him. So on a 1, it's just him. And, on a 2, there'll be 1. On a 4, 5, there'll be 2. On a 6, there'll be 3. So let's see what he gets. Oh, he gets 3. And I've already lined them up there. So we have Kotek and his 3 nameless warriors. And as the same thing I did with Ankenep, I rolled a character flaw from the Kill Team book. And he became unfeeling. So, as Kotek dies and dies again, and he is risen and in new bodies, he's starting to lose a bit of his his liveliness. So, what we're going to ask the fate chart initially is Kotek going to retrieve this body to save him, and serve his old master? Sorry, the dog's making a bit of noise. Or is he going to try and, take that body and biotransfer him into the body and take over the tomb world for himself? Because either way, we've got Necrons fighting Necrons, we've got warp storms coming over here, and if this gets any worse, the Imperium are going to come in and, they're going to blast the whole thing off the, out of space anyway. So when we do this, he's going to have to regain control. And we're going to say 50-50. Does he try and take the tomb world for himself? And it's a 92. That's a strong no. So, despite losing a bit of his, not humanity, necromanity, he remains firmly loyal. And we're gonna start our adventure in this warrior chamber here. And we'll see what happens next. Kotek no longer in his feeble body because his overlord who was punishing him has been slain. And the first thing we're going to do as he comes online and his minions, his underlings come to support him, is there an encounter? And I'm just going to be rolling a d10. And we're going to see if it's on a 2. And that is a 1. So hearing or sensing the energy surge as Kotek and his underlings come online, the nefarious forces of chaos are drawn to the warrior chamber. And I have a little homebrew chart here, and I'm going to roll to see, which of, first of all, what strength of force are they going to encounter? So on a 2 or lower, it's going to be weaker. On an 8 or more, it's going to be stronger. Otherwise, it's going to be a comparable force. So we roll, and we get a weaker force. Okay, and next I'm going to roll on which of the chaos gods have they caught the eye of. And again, this is like a 25% chance on the 4 major chaos gods. And for those not in Warhammer lore, there's 4 gods. There's a green one who's into disease. There's a red angry one who's a bit like a devil horn kind of guy. There's a mysterious Lovecraftian blue one. And there's kind of a sexy pink one. So here we go. And we get 90. So they will be facing off the forces of Nurgle. So coming in through these southern doors comes this group of poxwalkers. And our new Necron glorious ones by this big box thing. And I sort of whipped up this terrain this morning. I just figured it would give it a bit of a pizzazz. We have some walls and things. But this is just a big hexagon-shaped room. And we're going to start rolling for the crumbs, who get a 8, and Nurgle gets a 4. So we get the initiative, and I think everyone's just gonna ready. Actually, I think what we're gonna do is everyone's gonna move back because I want to put some distance between themselves and these poxwalkers. And of course, I would roll the figures that I have not yet painted. But in the spirit of the game, so these are gonna get on top of this. Oh, this is going to be like the machine which churns out and repairs their bodies, or etc. Now that's the end of their movement. These boys only move 5 inches, but they are going to advance. So I'm just going to advance these now. So Nurgle's forces rush forward, and hopefully it's not a repeat of the last combat encounter we had. I did look through the book, and equivalent to 1 warrior is 3 poxwalkers. But we'll see how that works out. So the first one who's going to shoot is going to be this warrior on the left, and he's going to be shooting twice, hitting on 3s, and he's going to shoot this guy at the front. No, nothing obscured. He's wide open, and he gets 2 hits. Now, a poxwalker. I have toughness 4, strength 4, so wounding on 4, so he gets 1 wound in. Now, does he wound? Sorry, he hits, he wounds, but before the wound goes in, he gets disgustingly resilient. So if he rolls a 5 up, like that, he just shrugs it off. Annoying. This bad boy here, he's going to shoot at him, and he's going to be, again, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, and he's going to be wounding on a 3. He misses, so he fails to wound. The next warrior is going to shoot at this lead guy with a sword in the air, and he hits. Does he wound on 4s? He gets 1 wound. Does he save it? No. And he's going to roll, and he takes a flesh wound. And finally, our warrior on the right, he will fire 2 shots into this lead guy, and he hits with 1. Does he wound? No. And I'm going to re-roll that for a command point. I'm going to have to put a command point guy here. I'm just going to put it next over here. It's going to be my command points. No. Okay, so that was the end of that battle round. We had some shooting, we had no fighting, and nobody died. But this guy has now a flesh wound. Okay, rolling for initiative. The Necrons gets a strong 9. Nurgle's forces gets a 8, a 7 even. So our boys go first. And I think they're going to hold their ground. There's not a lot they can do. Yeah, there isn't really a lot. Oh, so we replenish our command points. We'll get 3 because we have a leader. And these guys, again, they're going to declare charges. So we'll see who gets in. It's going to be a 4. It's going to be a 10-inch charge. But I think this lead guy is going to try it, taking a 1-inch penalty because of his wound. So first, our guy gets his Overwatch, hitting on 6s. He hits with 1. Oh, he misses, but sorry, fails to wound. But we're gonna command point that he wounds. Disgustingly resilient. Oh, he shrugs it off, and so he's in. If he can roll the 10, 11 inches he'll need to get in. No. But he does advance his 3 inches. So he edges ever nearer. And I think the rest of these, rather than charging, they're just going to move forward. They're just going to close the gap, and I'll resolve that now. So now, having encroached further on our Necrons, I'm going to move our camera around for a better angle. So, firing again. Our lad on the left, he's going to fire at this guy here because he's unobscured. 2 shots, hitting on. Nope, he misses. Okay. This Overlord is going to shoot down. Overlord, this immortal Kotek is going to shoot down into the head. Oh, and he hits. Does he wound? He gets a wound. Does this guy disgustingly resilient? No, he does not. So we're rolling. And it's a 4. And he is atomized. His head is blown off. He is sent nurgling back to the warp. This warrior is going to shoot this fella here. Ooh, 2 6s. Does he wound? He wounds. Now he's going to have to save both of these on a 5 up. He saves 1. 1 goes through. 3. So he takes... Oh, sorry, +1 because his flesh wound becomes a 4. And he again is sent, back to the warp again. So this warrior, he's going to shoot at him. And he hits with 1. Oh, let me check that. Does he hit on 3s? Yes, he does hit on 3s. Does he wound? He gets 1 wound. Does he save it with his disgustingly resilient? He does not. So, he also gets a 6-up save. I'll roll that now. Does he get a 6? No. So, this guy, we're going to roll to see what happens to him. And he gains a flesh wound. Now, last but not least, this guy on the end, he's going to shoot at the plague Poxwalk, who's closest to him, hitting on double 6s. These are very good dice. I'm going to take them to the shop next time I play, and he gets 1 wound. And does he save it on his 6-up save? No. But does he save it on his disgustingly resilient? No. What happens to him? He is wounded, flesh wounded even. So, round 3, and we're going to roll to see who goes first. Necrons, a strong 11. The Nurgle boys. So, for movement, their backs are right up against the wall. We're going to go as far back as we can here. Again, playing the ranged game as best they can. Another 3 command points, I believe I was on. I think I used 1. Now, again, they're going to hold their ground, but these Poxwalkers, we're going to get some charges in. So, for the first one, a 4-inch charge from the Horned Monstrosity. Our Necron boy gets 2 shots that he misses. We're going to command point it to see if he gets a 6. No, he does not. Now he needs 4. Can he get in? He gets in. So he charges in there. Lovely stuff. And likewise, the rest of these are also going to charge. So we've got a 7-inch charge. 6, close enough. This boy is going to charge him. And our boy gets 6 shots off. So 6, he gets 2 shots. But does he wound? 1. He gets a 6-up save. Nope. He gets his disgustingly resilient, which he saves on a 5. So he makes the charge despite his wounds. His mate's going to go in. He needs 6 or more. He makes the 6. And he's going to go in there. These fellas have got they need about 3 inches to get up. 9. That's a 10-inch charge. These 2 are just going to advance. A 4. Yeah, so he's going to get his 5. And he's straight up there. And he is, again, an inch away. Oh, he's a bit drunk. And these fellas are going to... He's going to charge in. Double 1s, he doesn't go anywhere. He's going to charge in. He is amongst it. So for shooting phase, both our warriors down here are tied up in combat. Only these two who can shoot. So Kotek is going to go first, shooting this guy at point blank range. And he misses. And he is going to re-roll one of those dice. He still misses. And his friend also, his nameless friend, goes in and he hits. 2 hits. Do they wound? They both wound. Does he get a 6-up save? No. Disgustingly resilient. Yes. But one goes through, and what happens? He is dead. Now we go to the combat phase. And he is going to get his 1 attack on the warrior. Now he gets 2 attacks, and he's going to be hitting on a 5-up. So he gets 1 through. Now is strength 3 against toughness 4, so we're going to be wounding on a 5. He wounds. Does he save it on his 4-up? I don't believe there's any AP on this attack. He does. And we're going to roll all these 3 attacks together for brevity. So 2, 4, 6, and they're all hitting on 5s. And we get 3 go through, see, with enough attacks. And they need to hit on a 5. None of them go through, but they get to re-roll failed wound rolls. So look at that. So 3 go through. He's going to save them on his 4-up armor save. Look at that. Loves it. So now we're going to punch back. First, this warrior on this guy. He's going to be hitting on a 3. He hits. He's strength 4, toughness 3. So it'll be a 3 to wound. Straight through. Now he gets a 6-up armor save. And he's disgustingly resilient. And then he's going to hit back. Hitting on a 3. He needs a 3 to... Oh, he gets his wound in. Now, does he get his armor save? No. Does he get his Nurgly save? No. What happens to him? He's already wounded. He gains another flesh wound. Now, round 4. 2 warriors. Ooh, still locked in combat. I think this guy is going to stay where he is, and yeah, he's going to get charged. So this fella here is going to... He's just going to get out of the way of this fella. Try and put some distance. And now we go on to the movement phase of here, and he's going to charge. And ooh, lost a bit of terrain there, and he's going to go in and join the fray. Apologies, another 2 command points there, and he is going to charge him. So he's going to get his 6, hitting on 6s. He gets 1 shot in. It wounds. He gets his armor save. He gets his Nurgle save. No. What happens to him? What is his fate? He is wounded. So now he has to make his charge of 4 inches, and he makes it, but losing 1 because of his wound. So he fails the charge, but he is within, you know, he's very close now. This fella is going to charge him. He fails. He's going to re-roll. He's going to spend a re-roll. No, this guy needs 2 inches. Anything but double sex is straight in there. So at the end of movement phase, all the warriors are locked in combat, but he managed to drive him back with some, quick shooting from his Gauze Blaster. Now we go to the shooting phase. So he is going to shoot him, hitting on 3s, and he misses. So I'm going to just re-roll that because that's ridiculous. And he gets 1 shot on. Does he wound? He wounds. And he gets an armor save, and he gets his disgustingly resilient save. He saves it. Disgusting. So we're going to go to combats. So we're going to resolve this combat here. So we get 4 attacks in total, hitting on 5s. Oh, look at that. That's 2 go through. Wounding on 5s. Boom, straight through. Saving on a 4 up. Oh, he loves it. And then here, I'm going to have to roll them separately. So we're going to, because of the flesh wounds here, these 4 attacks are going to be hitting on a 6 up. And look at that, 3 go through. And needs a, no, none of them wound though. This fella's going to be hitting on his 5. None go through. And also, he's going to be hitting him on 2 attacks. 1 goes through, does not wound. So, at the end of combat round, whatever it was, nothing's happened, just a big punch up. So we're going to do hit backs now. So Necron boy on one of the Nurgle boys, he hits, he wounds. The guy does not save on his armor save. Does he save it disgustingly? He does not. What happens to him? He is bayoneted in the head with his, I don't know, axe attachment. And again, he's going to hit back on this Nurgle guy here. And he misses. Same over here. He misses. So, start of round 6. We have 4 dead Nurgle boys. But we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them on the table. 1 more to potentially break the squad. Now, let's roll to see who has initiative. Necrons get 5. Nurglings get 3. So, this fella, he is going to move his 5 inches away from this maniac. And I think these 2 are going to fall back. No, they're going to stay in the fight. They're going to stay in the fight. That's all we can do. This fella is going to try and charge. I think he's just going to charge this guy because he's pretty close anyway. Yeah, he gets in. And then he can't be shot because he's in that fight. Oh, which means he can't do anything now. Oh, well done, Clint. But good move by Clint. So we go into the fighting phase. So we get first attacks here. So Necron boy on that Nurgle. He hits. He does not wound, but he will spend his command point, which we should now have 2 of. He wounds. Is he going to save on his armor? No. Is he going to save on his Nurgly goodness? He does. And again, over here, he hits. He wounds. He does not save. Nurgly goodness. Same thing over here. He's going to hit. He hits. Does he wound? He does not wound. But he's going to re-roll the wound roll, and he fails it. Lovely stuff. Now, Nurgle boys, back into our warrior. He goes. Oh, it doesn't hit because he hits on 5s. Okay. Again, Nurgle on our Kron. He hits on 1. Does it get through his armor of 4? It does. Let's see what happens to Alcron now. Oh, he is reanimated. And again, now we have a total of 4 attacks hitting on 6s. Actually, a total of 6 attacks hitting on 6s, which none of them hit. And we have this guy who is fine, also hitting on 5s. He hits. He does not make it through his armor. So again, we've got a royal mess here. So we're going to roll again for initiative. Crons 6. Nurgle boys 5. Now, I think I'm going to have to try and fall back and then do some clever shooting. So, this fella is going to move his 5 inches away. Oh dear. From him. But he's fallen back, so he can't do anything this round. Likewise, he's going to stay where he is. So, Nurgle boys. So this guy, he's just going to try and charge him again. I think that's what I would do if I was him. So he gets his 2 shots off. Do any of them hit? They wound. Does he save them on his crazy armor save? One of them, and his nurgly goodness he doesn't. Does he take takes a flesh wound? Now, all these guys are still in combat. Now this boy is going to shoot him. And he hits on 2. He wounds on 1. Now, 6 up armor save. No. Nurgly goodness. Damn it. He shrugs it off. These things are awful. I think we're going to have to run away. I think Kotek might have to just get away from these boys. Okay, into combat. He's going to take a hit at him. He hits. He does not wound. He spends the command point. He wounds. Does he save it on his armor save? No. Does he save it on his nurgly save? He does. Oh. Again, he's going to hit him. He hits. He fails to wound. Nurgle. This guy hitting on 5s. Fails to hit. Now we have 6 hitting on 6. 2 go through. Did he pierce his armor? 1 does. Armor save on 4. Loves it. And then this guy who's unwounded gets 1 in. He gets a wound. He gets an armor save. He loves it. So, on... Let's see who has initiative here. Crons get a juicy 11. No, boys get double 1. So I think to save getting bogged down in this absolute anarchy, both of these are going to run, and I'm going to roll their advances together. So there's Kotek's, and there is his double 6s. So they're going to be running a total of 11 inches. So they're just going to sprint for the exit towards this camera. Zoop. Again, but they will not be able to fire or do anything this round. Because realistically, these warriors are just nameless autonomous anyway. And I want to say if they get off the board, then they are now in the corridor. So, just going to move this camera. Lovely. So, with movement done, we're on to combat. So, this Necron boy is going to hit this Nurgle guy. 2 hits. Oh, sorry, only 1 hit. Does he hit? Does he wound? He wounds. Armor save. No. Nurgle save. No. He is wounded as well. So. And same thing over here. He hits. He does not wound. Okay. Nurgle boy here. On 6s. No. Again. 6 attacks hitting on 6s. 2 go through. Do they wound? They wound. Apologies, 1 wounds. So does it pierce his armor? No. And the healthy one hits, does not wound. Now, do we or don't we? Should Kotek run? I mean, one of his quotes was he's unfeeling. And he is fiercely loyal to the Overlord, so I think he is going to... Let's see, let's initiate first. 6, and Nurgle boys. So Nurglings go first. Now I think this guy is going to try and... Just going to stop their escape. I'm going to say if he rolls double 6s, he gets in and takes out this warrior. So he gets his 2 shots off. They both miss, and no, but he does make a 7-inch dash towards them, you know. And yeah, these are still locked in combat, and these are going to run away, and then I'm going to just resolve the combat and see if any of these warriors survive. So 5 inches takes them. So Kotek and his 1 remaining warrior, and they are going to attempt, it's going to be 50-50 on the fate chart. They're going to attempt to seal the doors behind them, and I'm going to say, does he have clearance to do that? It's likely, so I'm going to say it's a less than 65 chance. 58, yes. So he has clearance, and he shuts the doors behind them, leaving these boys behind. Now, I tried to resolve that combat off camera for those 2 remaining warriors fighting those forces in Nurgle, and because of their disgustingly resilient roll, it went on forever. So the doors are shut, and we're just going to assume that those 2 warriors and those remaining Nurglians are just going to be locked into this, you know, this physical combat for the end of time. It's going to be like an eternal, it's going to be like a fight off they live. You know, they're going to be fighting, and if we revisit the room, we'll see who survived in the end. So Kotek and our nameless one have shut the doors behind them. He's like, you know, left his minions to fend off the Nurglings. And we're going to roll to see if there's an encounter in the corridor. And of course there is 1. And we're going to see what the strength is. And it's 61, so it's going to be a comparable to who we have left. And we're going to see what Dark God it is. And it is not going to be Nurgle again. No thank you, not after that. So I'm just going to fudge this, say it's not Nurgle, because I'm sick of Nurgle. Oh, it's going to be Slaanesh. Thank you. So, as the doors shut behind them and the fighting continues, around the corner of this corridor, because it has a bit of a bend in it, they see a Slaanesh Seeker, a woman with clawed hands on this weird mount. She is gonna rock up in front of them, coming out the wall, and we're gonna resolve this combat now. So the Slaanesh Seeker greets them at the end of the corridor, and we're gonna roll for initiative. Kron's on a 10, Slaanesh on a 6. So the first thing these are going to do, they're going to put their backs up against the wall, and they're going to get ready to fire. And this Seeker, who does have a 14-inch move, by the way, is going to attempt to make a 9-inch charge on the warrior, who's going to have he misses with both shots. However, he is going to re-roll, and he still misses. So she is going to roll, see if she gets 9. She gets 7. So she is 2 inches away. Now, our brave boys in gold and blue are going to start, opening up into this Slaanesh Seeker. So first the warrior is going to be hitting on 3s. He hits with 1. We're going to see if he can hit with the other one on a 3. He does not. Now, does he wound? The Seeker is only toughness 3, so he'll be wounding on 3s. He wounds. And she has a 6-up save, which she fails now. 6. And she has 2 wounds, so she is down to her final wound. Now older Kotek is going to level his Gauze Blaster, and he fires, hitting on 1, and he fails to wound. So at the end of round 1, our boys managed to wing the rider. However, she is still coming strong. So she again is going to declare a charge, this time in anger against the warrior, again, who has winged her. And he's going to get his Overwatch of, and he's going to re-roll 1. Nope. And she is going to have to roll something other than double ones, so she is now in combat. Now this is not good. It's not where he wants to be. And, you know, again, we're going to say because they're literally within an inch, they're both in combat. And because she charged and because she's Slanesh, she gets to fight first anyway. And she gets 2 attacks. And she is going to be hitting on 3s. And she hits on 1. And this is going to be strength 3, toughness 4. So wounding on 5s. She fails to wound. And now our boy gets back, hits on a 3. Does he wound? He wounds. Is it a Seeker? Oh, Seekers aren't that tough. She makes a demonic 6-up save, and Kotek's going to have a whack. He hits, he wounds. She does not save it, and she is now down to 0 wounds. So we're going to see what happens to her. 3, she gains a wound. So start of round 2. We now have everyone locked in combat. And again, Slanesh always fight first. So she is going to roll her 2 attacks. Hitting on 3. She wounds. He has a 4-up armor save, which he makes. Both of these hitting on 3 are going to hit her. One of them goes through. It wounds. Just to get a 6-up save. No. What happens to her? They bayonet the rider to death, and she fades away into the warp. So, if I get my map out here. So, our Kotek was reanimated in this warrior's chamber. They have fended off a Slanesh Seeker whilst running away from some Nurgle here. And they're going to enter the large library. Now let's quickly roll and see if we get an encounter here as well. We do not. So I'm going to update the mythic sheet and then I'll be right back. Okay, so after that that fight against the Slanesh Seeker, Kotek and the Nameless One open into the library as Chaos Factor is still at 5. Because as it went up, as they had to flee from the Nurglings, they regained control by fighting Slanesh. So we're going to see if anything happens in here. And we get a 5. So we do get an interrupt scene. And also, we roll for an encounter as well. So let's see. So there's no encounter, but something happens. So we're going to look at event focus table. And we get 83. Which is a neutral event. And we get 5. The beginning of an enterprise which may harm others. So I think the the fighting within the Tomb World and this warp storm and systems powering up has caught the attention of, someone else, maybe like a rogue trader or the Imperium, and they're going to send someone to investigate, and they're going to be on its way to the Tomb World. I say we don't know how long they're going to be there, but I'm going to write this down as characters and this Imperium. And say we have been noticed. So Nothing here. So I'm going to ask the fate. I'm going to say, hey, you know, it's very unlikely, 20% chance, but I'm going to say, is there anything here to help us? And we get 21, so we were so close. As they go to the northern door, they're going to listen, and I'm going to ask, and I'm going to say this is very likely. I'm going to say, is the same group of, it's the same group of Necrons and Corn Demons there that felled the Overlord, are they still there? And we get a strong yes. So they are very definitely still there. And if anything, they've already had time to remuster. Now, I don't think our two boys are quite ready to take on, so they're going to go and visit. There's another warrior room to the south. And this is the same place we got reinforcements last time. So I reckon we're going to go in there and we're going to roll. Is there an encounter? No. Again, it's 50-50 because I felt like we've already used this resource, but is there any spare warriors we can recruit? And 38 we can. And again, I'm going to roll on the old dice and see, D3, the strength of the force, and 5, so pretty strong. So we're going to get 3 more people, and I'm going to have a look in my box to see what crons I have. Now, with this being a strong force, I'm going to roll again. I'm going to go, is this 50-50 again? It's going to be warriors, and infantry, or is it going to be like a big unit, And 29, yes, it's going to be warriors. So we're going to bring back these other nameless ones who aren't the same, who are still fighting the Nurglings. And there you go, 3. So he gains more warriors and more help. So he's gonna, go northwards, and we're gonna see if anyone wandered into the library while we were gone. No. And they're gonna stack up against the doors to the artifact chamber, and I'm gonna rearrange this terrain. I think that'll be a good place to leave it because this next fight is going to be a big one. So Kotek was reanimated back in his warrior's body, and he fled his first encounter, leaving his minions to clean up these Nurglings. And then they fought a Slanesh Seeker, a terrifying demon on this grotesque steed. Within the library, nothing happened. He recruited some more warriors, so now he has a force of 4 warriors backing him up. And then we just cut as Kotek was essentially going to kick through the door to save his overlord, or at the very least drag his body back somewhere where it can be repaired. And then we can get back on track of powering up the tomb, the security systems, kicking out all this warp storm nonsense, and also before the Imperium come, because when they come, they might think, we've got Necrons, we've got demons, they might blow the whole planet up. So I think these guys are on a bit of a time pressure now as well. So, thank you guys for watching. As I say, I think, with this solo game thing, you just use what you got. I think that's very good advice. And this terrain here is just, I mean, it's scratch built, this model. It's a bit of wood with some sand on it, some black spray paint. This is some bits of old brick, as you can see on the bottom. Again, spray painted black with a bit of edge highlighting, some TV box packaging. It can be a very inexpensive hobby, or it can be very expensive. Depends on how much money you've got to burn.